It's Tuesday night, and surprisingly, I've covered nearly 1,700 miles, 3 days, and I've got one stop left. I could have made it there during their business hours, but I didn't have enough drive hours today, so came up a little short. That's right outside of Cincinnati. I'm gonna knock that out tomorrow, and I'll be back up to the yard Wednesday. So totally different than what I'd been through the last couple of weeks. Um, Virginia and West Virginia getting hit with the ice storms and snow. And last week in Pennsylvania and West Virginia just getting railed with all the snow and the negative temperatures. So this week I actually kicked the air on low when I was in Roanoke. It was nearly 60. I think it hit 60 for a short spell. But yeah, so it's been a better week. But I've been running hard every day, so just sneaking in this video before I get to bed. Already ate and all that jazz. But before continuing on, if you can, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get this thing to grow, and we're just over 900 subscribers away from hitting that threshold, and then it just goes up from there. So, I subscribed to a channel, trucking, another trucking channel. I think I'm gravitating away from some of the more entertainment trucking channels. I need to have more boots on the ground, working class channels that I'm following, and so I'm kind of taking a lot of that spoof and haha kind of fun entertainment stuff out. I know this week it was said that the FMCSA put a task force out there for the lease purchase programs. I've watched 3 different channels, 3 different views on that. Most companies got good lease programs, and I think what the task force is out there is to sift out a lot of this predatory stuff. In a nutshell, I'm not going to go into details on this. I can't say I would ever step in that direction because the company would have to be a sound company. There's a lot of them. The big one, Prime. I pass those guys all the time. I just can't go 63, 65 miles an hour tops every day trying to make a living when the speed limit's 70, 75. It's just ridiculous. So, I'd want to have more control and more say so over my truck, my loads, and my home time. So, it's probably not a fit for me. I would probably work at getting a different angle, and I could probably reach out in 3 different ways of doing it besides that. And sometimes it's not always what you know, it's who you know to help get you the leverage to get into the game. But at this point in juncture in my life, I'm making, if my pay was at least 40%, if not more, less than what I'm making, I'd probably be looking elsewhere. Things since 2018, my pay every year has just gone up and up and up, and I want to say in lieu of that, it's because I have aligned myself to get better and better at what I do here in the truck, and I want to say giving me more hands-on responsibility. And again, that goes back to what I preached in a few videos ago, is being a better asset to a company. So don't be a person that just is going to come in and do the bare minimum. And if that's all you're going to do, and that's about all you're going to get, and you're just never going to get yourself launched to where you want to be. I'm just watching. I'm at the Loves in Sadieville. It's between Georgetown, Kentucky, which is just north of Lexington, and Florence, Kentucky. So I'm just hanging out here. I have a better time. I like the Loves truck stops. They're well. Hold on, let me finish that last one. We'll get to the Loves. Um, where was I at? My wife usually is in here to remind me on things. So anyhow, with the predatory lease purchase and all that, I I would have a better chance of just finding other ways to get my own truck, have my own say so, and do what I want to do. If I was going to get my own truck and spec it and all that, I'm going to get what I want. I'm not going to settle. This truck was got to settle for it. Um, Definitely not my choice of truck. And I'm actually specking out, looking at different trucks. I like to play around and just get onto some of the manufacturer sites, see what they got to offer in each model. I know I took you guys along um, over by Zanesville, Ohio, and Peterbilt. And my favorite is the W900. But I'm working day to day from like what I'm doing right here. Now, if I was to put another truck under this trailer and say, all right, I'm going to do the same type of work, doing about 10, 12, 15 stops on a route, what's a practical truck, sensible truck, not just a glamorous truck. And I've been looking at like the T680 or the hooded version of that's the W990. So I've been looking at the W990 and the T680. Um, that would be my choice. But you know, again, if I had deeper pockets, yeah, I'd love to be able to latch onto a truck like that and maybe talk to these guys and see about just leasing it on and doing the routes that way. But anyhow, um, yeah, so I'm not getting into all the politics of that. Right now, as a task force, it's kind of like a probe. They're just looking into things. They're getting data and information back. They're not penalizing anybody, but I think they want to get pretty much a round robin of information, and they're probably going to go back and probably take things to the board, to I want to say the boardroom, and just kind of sit down with this stuff. I don't know if it's in in their favor to actually make a judgment call on this. Um, but there are companies out there that have pretty much screwed a lot of drivers on bad lease purchase programs, which is if you can't get yourself into the truck or an authority, a lot of guys will just they'll go through a company, say like Prime, Bay and Bay is another one, and they will they have a fleet of trucks you can lease. And what they do is they get a good deal because they buy them in bulk, like Prime. They'll buy the trucks in bulk, get a good deal on them, especially if you don't have the down payment or the money that a bank would want more upfront than a lease purchase program, which is going to be a lesser of a down payment up front. And then they get you into the game with all your insurance registration and pretty much when you sign on with that, they pretty much are your broker too, and they get you your loads and all that jazz, pulling their trailers. So, but they got, to say they've got control over you and your truck on what you're doing, where you're going, stuff like that, and setting the rates. And again, that's the carrier setting the rates. In the end, it's the company that's leasing the truck to you. They're making bank because they're letting the truck. You're taking on the responsibility of taking care of the truck, keeping it up, the maintenance. Any maintenance that's outside of warranty work. And what I want to say, and if you turn it, if you're leasing it for 3-4 years, you turn it in after a year or two, they can turn around, clean the truck, and send it back out and release it again. And they've made all that money off you every month that you've been making the lease payments on it. So just keep that in mind. It's a good marketing scheme, but it's not for me. So it's not the way I'd want to go. I'd like to have a little bit more, yeah, behind the scenes. I like to have more freedom and free reign of how I'm using my truck. So the Loves truck stop. I like coming here. The ones I like going to best is Petro and TA because they have bigger lots. I within because I run more in a region. I stay east of the Mississippi, but uh, north of the Carolinas and towards Michigan. So I'm in a regional driving position, but I have seen, I want to say within the last couple years, I have seen Love's probably pop a dozen or more new truck stops. I haven't seen, but maybe one pilot being built in the last 10 years. And the ones that are existing between the Pilot and Flying J's, they have not done any renovations to update them. They're just getting run down, and they just remind me of those Speedway gas stations we have around here, and they're just running them in the ground. A lot of foreigners own them, the Speedways, but hey, not. I'm just gonna call it the way it is, like a convenience store and anything else. They get it, or a hotel, and they just run them in the ground. Um, Loves, they're keeping them up. They staff's much better. Um, Nothing's the best, but it's better. But I usually Loves is my number two. TA Petro is usually where I go. Bigger, they usually hold a bigger parking lot as a national chain. They've got the bigger parking lots, so availability is good. I got here early enough, so and this was convenient on my way, and I got down to like 23 minutes left of driving, 20 minutes of driving left, so I didn't have much wiggle room to be too choosy. But there's two pilots up there by Georgetown, across I-75 from each other, just south of the scale house. So scale house was closed when I came through, so I don't have to worry about that, and I don't think I'll be dealing with any more scale houses tomorrow. Because I'll be empty by 9:30 in the morning, and then my travel back up be empty from Cincinnati back into Grand Rapids. If the weather holds good and the weather up in Michigan holds good, my wife said it's been warm and everything's melting off. Thank goodness. I'm going to try to get this thing in the Blue Beacon. The salt dust on this has been horrendous, where I've had to brush my shirt off because it's like I've been out in the middle of the desert in a dust storm. Just every time I open and close the roll-up door on the trailer, just getting absolutely filthy, and wiping my face off. You just feel like you're in a dust storm, but it's just everything on this truck is just covered in salt. So, yeah, left Sunday morning, made a delivery on Sunday. Knocked out my West Virginia and my Virginia stops Monday. This is Tuesday. I stayed at the Petro last night in Glade Spring, mile marker 29 there, just east of Bristol. So I popped through Bristol early this morning. I got up and got going at 4 a.m. I mean, I got up at 3, but I was on the road at 4 a.m. So I had to get up in the central Kentucky, make a delivery there, then up to Winchester. And that reminds me, I have another ride along. I recorded a ride along today from the Burt T. Combs Blue Mountain Parkway there, West Liberty, there all the way up to Winchester. So that should be a good one. It's a long one. I'll try to. And when you see those videos, like the last one I did, my wife didn't care for the music. I'm just playing around with the background music, so I'll probably do something more instrumental or subtle on the next one, and turn it down some. She turned the sound off, but it was a good ride from Bluefield to Grundy. So it allows her and it allows you folks to get to see the other parts of the country that not a lot of people go out and explore. They usually go to the more common destinations. When they go to Florida, they go to Orlando to see, Disney. They go to New York City to see the Big Apple. Uh, you know, California, go see Hollywood, or Colorado, see the ski slopes and stuff like that. So these are a lot of the back roads and places that I see week in and week out, and and it's the same when I took the wife out to Texas for surgery last year. We took all the back roads we could take from Big Cabin, Oklahoma, all the way down to Denton, and you really, it gives you it really, if you open your mind and allow yourself to look at the beauty, not just, oh, look at all the poverty stricken, empty towns, rural towns, or this and that. It's like, you're going to see that anywhere. I've seen it from Florida to New York and California. I mean, you got your good and your bad out there. But you just got to appreciate the natural beauty that the landscape gives you. Just take away all the other stuff. But it was a good drive today. So I want to say I got up to Winchester, then Lexington, all the way back down to the Tennessee state line, and then back up outside of Lexington for another stop, and then here. So that's like I said, I'm about 1,700 miles in for the week right now, and I still got probably just yeah, I got about 400 miles left tomorrow, roughly, maybe 375, and then I'll be in and see what they want to do with me from there. But yeah, temps have been in the 40s and 50s while I've been out here this week. So I'm taking that after all the crap show I've had the last 2 weeks. And again, I see there's more executive orders from our president, you know, cutting on the deficit spending. I want to say all the money that's going out into these special interest programs and other stuff. I think a lot of it's a bunch of hogwash, and I think a lot of people, I've even seen some family that they're government dependent and looking for handouts. Um, I've never been that way. Um, I worked all through college, even after my divorce from my son's mother. I still worked, paid his child care, took care of us, and went to college full time. And I mean, I'd work I had 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So I was working third shifts one place, day shift another, plus getting college in, plus getting him home from school and helping him with his projects. I never took any government assistance for that. I worked, and I will do that because I can hold my head high and walk with confidence that I've never taken a handout, and not from the government dole, ever. I've had people help us out, donate stuff, this and that, and I'm appreciative of that. But to be, I want to say, learned behavior from generation to generation of how to buck the system and get on the welfare and all these other government entities, um, wouldn't hurt my damn feelings whatsoever to get rid of welfare. Um, Start motivating people. There's things that needs to be done in this country. This country is getting run down, and that the infrastructure is bad, and they're like, well, there's no workforce. Well, pull that free money away and put these people that are just sitting around doing the bare minimum and playing video games or whatever it is that they have no skill sets in, and give them a skill set, whether it's out helping build roads or Habitat for Humanity, get them involved and help build houses for those in need. So there's many things, but I don't feel one damn bad that he's shutting the government dole off to all this special interest stuff. I could give a shit about those folks and what they need their money for. So I won't take a handout now or ever. So sad as it is that our country's gotten that way, but our country's gotten weak because of that, because we have catered and made these people lazy and lazy-minded and mentally and physically. So other than that, I'm blessed. Truck's running good. It still needs to get that overlaying wire harness they're saying. I'm going to check in with them. The ABS traction control is still out of whack. The lights are on, so it kicks my cruise control out, so I don't have no cruise control, so I'm basically just running with the foot. So not complaining, but yeah, I don't know what got into the wire. I don't know. This is a 2022, and everything I've known from automobiles to RVs to these semis is you don't buy anything from the beginning of 2021 all the way up to the end of last year, 24. GM has just got 900,000 recalls on all the variety of vehicles. So is it, and this is a 22, so I can guarantee that the quality control and the parts on this thing's had so many anomalies, IT wise. Um, what do I do? Like I said, I would love to go out and just be able to cherry pick and say I'd like to have a better truck, but I got to take what it was given to me. So as long as I'm making a paycheck, um, once it's my money and I sign my name on the title, then I guess I got more say so on the vehicle. But yeah, this has got to get in, so I got to check with them, see if the part's in, and then go from there. And they need it for a whole day, so I'll have to ask them what this is really going to entail. They just kind of gave me the simple gist of it on a phone call. So other than that, it's been a good week. I'm happy that the weather has finally turned after like 3 weeks of that crap. Well, since the Monday before Christmas Eve up until last Friday or last Thursday when I got in, I have dealt with nothing but freezing rain, snow accumulation, and below zero temperatures. So to have this back is a blessing for me. Now, this Saturday will be February 1st, so like down south, I already bumped the AC on for probably an hour down there out of Roanoke because it was definitely stuffy as heck in here. They've got green grass and no snow accumulation there. So last year I remember in February it got in the 70s. So I would anticipate in the next couple 2-3 weeks that's what I want to be seeing down there. So I'm gonna have to throw some shorts in here pretty soon. Being it's just the last week of January. Um, Other than that, and Love's the one thing about Love's and doesn't disappoint. What is it with everyone that likes to drive through a truck stop? Me and all my other brothers and sisters out here. We're parked for the night. You walk up to the main store, whether you're getting a shower, getting some food, walking your dog out here, and everyone's like, "Why do y'all think you got to race 30, 40 miles an hour through here?" And a lot of you foreigners, I mean, slow your asses down. Whether you're in this truck stop, in a parking lot, at a shipper or receiver, it's like, for Christ's sakes, what is your damn hurry? I got the e-logs. Big deal. Um, if if your company or your fleet manager is pushing you to where you have got to race through residential or a parking lot like this, you're with the wrong company, and you need to get out. Because if they're pressuring you that bad that you've got to race around to make things dangerous because of your gross negligence, that is nuts. So, um, yeah. Anyhow, I've just been watching that all night, leading up to the live stream, and just people. One guy, there was a driver, a student driver, and his trainer for Warner. The trainer was out here trying to back up the student in no parking spot. This other dude come along and literally had his truck, and the dude was trying to. I don't want to say 3-point back in, but he wasn't doing a straight back in, but he was jackknifing, the driver's side back in, and the other dude was right up on his tandems on his tractor, and I'm like, dude can't even swing the truck around, and he's just sitting there. So the trainer walks over and beats on the guy's door, like, dude, fucking real? Back your ass up. Let him get in there. It's like just stupid shit like that. And it's not called for, and it's just common sense and common courtesy to check yourself. If you're pushing the truck that hard in areas you shouldn't be, um, you're doing something wrong. Either you're not doing good time management through the day with your time, or you're with the wrong company and your fleet managers, on your ass pushing you. Back it off. Take the damn thing back to the yard, hand them the keys, and leave. But is it worth killing yourself or having a fatality, killing someone else. So I don't know. You gotta put yourself in litigation and say, where is this going to lead me? Because the company's not going to have your back when it comes to fatality. They will throw you under the fucking bus as a driver. So you need to approach everything you do, every turn of the wheel, and every road you get on for a speed limit. You need to put yourself in in your mindset of litigation of, you know, who's right and who's wrong, and are you going to prison? So a lot of things guys don't think about when they're driving. They get too caught up in the moment, or they're too pressured. Um, I I'm pretty relaxed. The only time I wasn't, that mountain pass last week, coming from Pennsylvania across the Appalachians over to Elkins, West Virginia. That had me on my seat in the dark, down a lot of 9% grades. It just seemed like it went on and on and on in the dark. So having to run your high beams even against opposing traffic, because I need to know where the next curve is, because it was just a curvy downhill spiral for, like I said, up to a couple hours. It was just a real pain in the ass. And but take that away, I stay pretty relaxed. Um, you know what? The way it is for me, if it's heavy rain, I'm slowing it down. I don't care. None of the product's worth pushing the truck and getting yourself in a accident or a fatality. So just take your time out here, gentlemen and ladies. And slow and steady wins the race. You're not going to be first, but you will finish. So if you want to rush and try to be first, banging up your truck, uh, personal property, or having a bad accident, um, was it worth it? I've had a few of my fender benders and scrapes, and on occasion when I ran heavy equipment out in the field, not surveying the grounds, and then getting out there and burying my truck and trailer, and having a loader and a dozer pulling me out. I've had lots of situations like that, and I've just learned over time. These trucks don't like going to places that isn't either pavement, concrete, or hard packed gravel. Once you deviate from that, these things are, you know, they're stuck in the mud, and it don't take much to get them stuck. So I don't want to call a wrecker unless it's broke down, but not because I ditched it or got it stuck because of my negligence or bad judgment call. So, all right, folks, till next time, stay safe, continue educating yourself. Knowledge is learned and not taught. And should be sometime this week, I'll have that ride along video out. So look for that post notification. Hit that notification bell if you haven't, to catch the next video drop or live stream. And we're out.